Welcome back, guys, to day 2 of Astra season. So something that I really want to get out of the way and sort of bring up, well, something that's very apparent on the screen is that I lost my first match of the day. The second one counts as a loss too, but that's not so bad. The first one by this Japanese player who goes by the name of Pa-tsu-so, I believe, Pa-tsu-so, is what I kind of want to talk about, really. Something that I suppose I should tell you guys about, or talking about myself rather, is that my policy is one of when the way I would word it when I'm calm and not all riled up is that I have a general distaste for anything that's power creep or cheese. And when I am riled up and angry, then I might just start cussing people out, or, you know, but I'm trying not to sound, I'm not trying to come off as toxic or anything, or be hateful, so I'm gonna try to, you know, keep my emotions in check, you know, because sometimes you just let things slip, that's human. But anyway, something that I wanted to bring up was the way that this person plays, basically. And I'm not certain if this just pertains to my map, or if this pertains to just AR in general, or if he just plays the entire game this way. But under the limitations and constraints of AR, this person, who should have received a free Altina at the very least, opts to run a team composed of 3 dancers. I don't even care about the Reinhardt. 3 dancers and a bridal Fjorm. Like, how dependent do you have to be on, like, broken units and their inherent kits to have to carry you to victory? And it's not even a matter of just, playing the mode to stay in tier 21, because no matter how poorly you do on defense, so long as you win on offense, right, your offense score will always keep you above that threshold of tier 21. Like, you play a double up for a day, you're going to score, with this sort of team, 160 points, right? If my math is right. And if you lose fully on defense with no defense mythics, then you lose 80 points. You keep playing like that, then sure. What I really don't get is this person has a free Astra mythic, and he has an Anima defense mythic. So it's like, why do you play that way? Like, to each their own. I have to understand that I have to tell that to myself and try not to be, like, disrespectful of another player's playstyles. But this really just rubs me the wrong way. And so if this is the message that this person is sending me, then fine. I'm just gonna rematch them tomorrow, ideally, and I'm gonna stomp on their map. That's the way I want to play it. Sorry if I'm coming off as disrespectful and toxic, but to be honest, like, I really had to resist the urge to, like, not rematch this person right away, because I wanted to send a message, and it's like, I don't know. It's just, I'm trying to sort of reflect on my own thoughts for a second here. Like, it's not my place to tell people how to play, but, like, if they're gonna play a certain way that rubs me the wrong way, I'm gonna play the way that I want to play, and I'm gonna demonstrate it to them. So however they take it, that's up to them. If the message gets lost in transit, or if, you know, the message gets returned to sender, then so be it. I've done my part at that point. However they take it, or however they've misinterpreted it, for the most part, is up to them. So that's how I'm gonna try and go about this. Yeah, sorry if I'm coming off a little bit emotional and, you know, if I come off as disrespectful, but, you know, this is like a turn-based strategy game. Like, where's the fun in using just cheese brain-dead units, really? That's just my opinion. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and double up today. I did make a slight alteration to my teams. One thing was that I actually gave everybody animal-related accessories, so people have, like, bunny ears, cat ears, fox ears, whatnot. I changed Sophia back to her resplendent outfit, and I actually decided to give Tail2 a blazing AoE instead to sort of try and capitalize off of her Tome on Thorn, because she's more of like a piercer with her special damage via Wrath. Because she can't exactly help the rest of the team as much as Kagero does with her dagger debuffs. So what I decided to do was, if Tail2 is like a magic user and she does extra special damage, then she could be somebody who could pierce through like her target, who might have more bulk, maybe physically, if there's somebody that maybe Kagero can't inherently one-shot. So that's sort of just my thought. I'm gonna play with it. Like, I've played around with it in mock battles. It seems to work out okay, but we'll see how it pans out during an actual match. And yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead. Okay, sorry about that. I had to cut for a second because I was interrupted. So it looks like we're up against a Japanese player who's actually using the, I believe, the default name for the Japanese settings, which is Ekura, which I don't know if I've explained it yet, but it could be the Japanese phonetic pronunciation for the French word éclat, which means brilliant feat or performance, which could be referring to the player's, you know, strategic brilliance or whatever in this turn-based strategy game. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. It makes sense to me. So anyway, let's go ahead and check out this guy's map and team. So first things first, this guy actually does have his bonus structure set, so this could prove interesting. At first glance, he has his lightning traps into positions where I can easily test them, and I may actually be able to Gale Force this, which is nice. But given that Duma's not on the setup, it becomes a bit more of a gamble as to how much damage these traps do, because without a Duma, I do require the traps to do at least 20 damage, especially since Altina's a bonus unit, since she gets extra HP. So with 20 damage, Altina can attack once and then trigger Fury for 26 damage dealt total to herself, which would enable her to become a Wings Mercy Beacon because she has 52 HP right now. And so yeah, this kind of banks on it being at least 20 damage, but I do want to showcase my Gale Force setup. So I think that's just what I'm gonna do. You know, if it ends up not working out in my favor, then, you know, it is what it is. I've tried. It doesn't hurt to try, you know. So first things first, I guess. I was thinking of maybe having Kagero attack Ophelia, because that would get Ophelia out of the way, as that seems to be the easiest unit to convincingly snipe and like not require additional assistance to get rid of. That's in a favorable position, but if I did that, I have to consider how my Gale Forcers are going to get to be able to play, because if I attack Ophelia, I'd have to attack from here or here, and that means I'd have to use another Wings of Mercy beacon to warp in and serve as another Wings of Mercy point to get my Gale Force to come in and attack, which doesn't seem very viable given that I have a much higher chance of not getting Altina ready for that role in time, assuming that it's like a 20 damage lightning trap, because at that point she wouldn't have been able to attack anybody and she wouldn't have lost enough HP to become a Wings of Mercy beacon. So what I'm thinking is, same goes for Leaf, but it's more dangerous to attack Leaf because he has higher, you know, physical bulk and he has disencounter. So what I was thinking was that I would probably go after this Garrick or Thraseer with my Kagero, and that way Altina can warp in next to Kagero and attack one of these two. And at first, I'm pretty sure Kagero wouldn't be able to take out this Garrick because there's this Bright Shrine, and Bright Shrines usually affect my Kagero since she has the highest combined attack and speed. I believe at 94 prior to any visible buffs. And this Eliwood's also running a chill attack and speed. So Kagero will get hit with a -7 attack, and Valoria is the one on the team with the most visible speed, so she'll get hit with that for 35. With Darting Blow, she'll go back up to 41, but that's not as much to work with as I would have liked. I'm also not certain why this Eliwood is on the defense team when there's no other, like, dragon or beast to help him with the Vision of Arcadia bonus. So, though I suppose Ardent Durandal is going to give the unit with the highest attack a bonus doubler effect, because Azura is basically giving this Ophelia attack tactic, so Ophelia should effectively have 69 attack, I believe. So it would be ideal if if I actually went after Garrick instead, because I think that actually work out in my favor, because if I did it on turn 2 or turn 4 or later, after testing the lightning traps, Garrick would have enough bulk to survive my Kagero, because Kagero would be at like, let's see, after being chill attacked, she'll have 56. So 56 minus 35, that's 21 damage off of Growing Flame, and then 21 damage from her normal hit. So that would do 42 damage and put Garrick at 23 HP. And from that point, I would prefer not to have my units, my Gale Force units, try to trigger Heavy Blade or Flashing Blade off of Ophelia, because Valoria would have 41 speed, so she wouldn't have enough speed to proc Flashing Blade off of the Ophelia. And Sharena, I believe, will have 68 even with Hone Attack. And the reason why she's eligible for visible buffs is because she has more HP than Garrick. So Sudden Panic wouldn't really affect her. So with 68 attack, she can't trigger Heavy Blade off of a 69 attack Ophelia. So that's why I'm saying Kagero should attack Garrick, and then that way Altina, who isn't a Gale Forcer, but can still do decent damage on her own and serve as another Wings of Mercy beacon, can take out this Ophelia. And so from there, I would have most likely Valoria warp next to Altina onto Ophelia's current position and take out this Leaf. Leaf will end up getting like 4 extra speed, which puts him at 38, but Valoria has enough speed at 41 to trigger Flashing Blade. And I believe Valoria would have 60 attack. The reason why I can sort of pull these numbers out of the top of my head is because I've run these numbers like quite often during my previous Astra season runs, so that's why it's sort of beaten into my head at this point. At 60 attack after being transformed, she should... Well, Leaf will be hit by double Savage Blow for 14, which puts him at 29, and then he'll have 25 defense, but then his weapon, I'm not going to pronounce that anymore. His weapon is going to give him 4 extra defense, so that puts him back up to 29. 60 minus 29, that's 31. So... Oh wait, no, his B skill should also decrease Valoria's attack, so that should put her at like 55. So 55 minus 29, that's 24 damage, I believe. So, ooh, that's not... Did I do the math there right? That's what I get for trying to, like, speed through this. Okay, so Leaf will get hit by dagger debuffs, which puts him at 25 visible defense. And then he will get +4 defense from his weapon, which brings him back up to 29 defense. Valoria should have 60 attack upon transformation, I believe. Because she gets +6 from double Altina, so that puts her at 58. Transforming would give her 2, which puts her at 60. So 60 minus... No, hold on. Lif would actually have his B skill if units' HP is greater than or equal to 50%. Yeah, so he wouldn't have lost 50% HP at that point yet. So Valoria would get hit with -5 attack, which puts her at 55. 55 minus 29, I'm fairly certain, is 24. And unfortunately, Valoria doesn't have enough speed to double this leaf. Oh my god, that speed boon's actually helping this person out. Jeez. Okay. So Valoria actually doesn't do enough here to take out that leaf, which is unfortunate. So what if I had Shirena attempt this? Because she would be at 68 attack. Leaf would be at 59 attack, and Shirena would be treated as if she had 63. So Shirena would actually be able to trigger Heavy Blade, and I don't think I have to worry about doing enough damage because of the weapon triangle, so Shirena would be able to take out Leaf. And at that point, it would be up to Shirena to take out this Thraseer, which I find highly improbable. Shirena wouldn't be able to outspeed Thraseer, neither would Valoria for that matter. So it's not looking like it'll be like a clean and instant Gale Force sweep. What I'm thinking is that I'll probably have to trap these three in, Thraseer, Eliwood, and Azura, and I could probably eliminate Garrick, Leaf, and Ophelia. The problem I have with this is that Eliwood will probably break this structure, and from there Thraseer can break free and attack whoever's on this tile, which I believe will be Altina. And so it's not really perfect or ideal. So if I decided to attack Thraseer instead with Kagero and snipe her like that, what could I do? I could... Covering Ophelia, the tile adjacent to Ophelia isn't ideal, because that restricts me from getting both of my Gale Forcers in. So what if I opt to actually make my move on Bolt Tower turn, so that Kagero can cleanly eliminate Garrick, and then from that position, have Altina perform her designated role of taking out Ophelia and serving as a secondary Wings of Mercy beacon, and then having Shirena warp next to Altina to take out that leaf, and then and then attack the Thurseer? No, that wouldn't really make sense. I feel like I would need one of the Gale Forcers to become a Wings of Mercy beacon themselves, because I can't really rely on the Repo Altina, the non-Wings of Mercy Altina, to be a beacon herself if she doesn't enter combat, and especially not if she doesn't have Fury recoil damage. So Altina warps over here, takes out Ophelia. Having the Leaf and Thurseer here with their in-combat debuffs is making this a lot trickier than I'd like it to be. Okay. What if I had somebody tank hits from Garrick? Garrick will have 46 speed on initiation. And I'll have 58 attack. Valoria would get doubled for sure. Shirena, I believe, would have 38 speed. And then she could reach 43 speed with Bond. So if she's bonded, she wouldn't get doubled. She does suffer color disadvantage, but she should be healthy at that point. So if I have her trap Garrick in and tank hits from him, I could have Shirena maybe warp in next to Kagero. Should Kagero snipe Thurseer, Shirena can warp in next to Kagero, take out Lif, and trigger Heavy Blade, move up, and then take out Ophelia. And then from there, I could have Altina warp to Ophelia's tile because she's now gone, and have Altoona take out Thraseer. Then Thraseer herself becomes a Wings of Mercy beacon, and then Valoria can warp in and deal with firstly the Azura, and then after she clears her speed debuffs, she can double the Eliwood. So I think that's a viable play. I just have to recalculate if Sharena has enough attack to trigger Heavy Blade off of Leaf, and whether or not she has the bulk to survive Garrick's attacks. The reason why I didn't think of this initially is because one normally wouldn't think of trapping in a melee unit to take hits, but sometimes it's inevitable. I was actually reminded of this when I was testing Ashikai's mock battle, where she had like a Ninian, and that was less problematic for me because Dancers usually don't have as much attack, so I was fine with that. But Garrick is a little bit dangerous, so I was kind of putting that idea on the back burner, not wanting to really resort to that, but it looks like that's going to have to be my play. Let me just go ahead and check Sharena's stats again. So Sharena gets +4 to all stats. She'll have 53 base attack. And then she gets +6 from Altoona, so that's 59. With Hone Attack, that'll be 63. And then Attack Speed Bomb would put her up to 68. So Leaf's weapon would drop her back down to 63, and then he himself gets +4 attack, which puts him at 59. So, Sharena would... Well... Yeah, because at the point where she warps in next to Kagura, her attack speed bond will still be intact, so she can eliminate Leaf that way and trigger Heavy Blade, and then she would move up to take out Ophelia. I don't really have to calculate that because after like Growing Flame, Savage Blow, and Dagger debuffs with her pitiful 15 defense, that's not going to be an issue. With 36 speed, 41 speed, with attack speed bond. Ooh, I think she'd actually get doubled. For some reason I thought Sharena had more speed. I guess not. So 41 speed, I believe that Garrick had 46 on initiation, meaning that Sharena would actually get doubled. And so Sharena would have 33 defense. Garrick would have 58 attack, 5.8 times 2, 11, 69. So 69 minus 33 is 36 per hit. Oh. Yeah, so that's not ideal, and it doesn't look like it's going to work out, unfortunately. Which is really a shame. I feel like I'm one step away from figuring out this little puzzle for a Gale Force clear. It's like the debuffs and then the in-combat buffs and debuffs are just like at the right place for this defense team, preventing me from like easily sweeping. But that's why I kind of like the Gale Force setup. Being able to figure it out and then execute successfully is like what makes this so fulfilling for me, I would say. So if I had Valoria tank this, but we already established that. Well, hold on. Valoria would have 41 speed. And Leaf would have 38 speed. his B skill only debuffs my attack and defense, but if I decide to attack Thurseer, the orientation of the Growing Flame would actually hit Leaf, and so he would be hit by both Growing Flame and Double Savage Blow. So Kagero at 63 base, minus 7, 56. 56 minus 32 is 24, minus 14, so that's minus 38. So Lift will be at like 38 damage, so that's like 5 HP. So that's not a problem for Valoria at that point. And to add insult upon injury, there's the Bolt Tower if I ever needed that. So if Valoria decides to go after Leaf and trigger Flashing Blade from there, she could be the one to trap Garrick. She might get doubled, but at the very least, there's no color advantage. So while I'm like spewing this right now, I actually do want to check if Garrick does enough damage to my Valoria. He's going to have 58 attack, and Valoria will have... let's see. Valoria will have 34 defense, so that's going to be 24 damage. If I manage to get rid of the Eliwood, Valoria will remain at... well, actually... She may be the one to get Bright Shrined after transforming, so let's take that into consideration. If she does get Bright Shrine, she will get doubled by Garrick. So 58 minus 34, 24 per hit, so that's 48 damage. But Valoria has 53 HP, so that would actually enable her to survive against Garrick. So I think that might actually be my play. So Kagero comes in over here, takes out the Thurseer. Valoria warps in next to Kagero and is able to take out the Leaf and trigger Flashing Blade. Valoria can take out Ophelia. Ophelia is going to get hit with Growing Flame, Double Savage Blow, and defense debuffs. So at that point, Valoria doesn't have to worry about having higher speed than Ophelia, even though she would, because she just cleared her speed debuffs. And then from there, I would have Altina warp to Ophelia's current position. Oh, wait. Huh. So now the problem is that Altina doesn't have anybody to attack to become a Wings of Mercy beacon if this isn't a 20 trap. If this is a 20 trap, rather. If it's more than 20, then it's not a problem, but I'm trying to play off of the fact that it is. That kind of sucks, to be honest. Jeez. I thought I figured out one thing and then I run into another problem. I'm not sure if, like, any of you viewers find this sort of process of figuring out, like, my plan of execution interesting. If not, let me know in the comments below and I can sort of just cut this out and then, like, come back to the point in the video where I've got my plan down and I'm gonna explain it, basically. So do let me know. I can use that as future reference for my future videos, basically. If I go after Thurseer, Valoria can take out the Leaf. And she would take out the Ophelia. But then I have nobody to come over here to serve as a Wings of Mercy beacon. .68 attack isn't going to be enough to trigger Heavy Blade off of Ophelia. Fairly certain I didn't have any other attack debuffs either, preventing her from getting that high of an attack. Kagero attacking Thurseer. Altina goes and attacks If Altina decides to go and attack this leaf, she could likely take him out and then serve as a Wings of Mercy beacon. And then from there, I would likely have to use Garrick as my Gale Force trigger before engaging Ophelia. So if I had Valoria trigger Heavy Blade off of Garrick, get Gale Force, and at this point I've attacked the Seer, so she's out of the way. Oh. No, that wouldn't work. Damn it. That would require 3 actions instead of 2. Would be able to take out the Garrick, but if I made my move on turn 3 with the help of the Bolt Tower, would Valoria be able to take out Garrick? Garrick wouldn't be debuffed or hit with the debuffs, unfortunately, so Valoria would have 60 attack. She wouldn't be able to double, I think. So that's 25 damage at most. She could get rid of Ophelia, but what if I broke this Bronze Throne? And then I used my Repo Altina to get Kagero up. And then my Smite Altina to get Kagero to the tile below Ophelia. After Kagero takes out Ophelia. And then that way Kagero serves as Wings of Mercy beacon for these 2 tiles. And everybody would get pretty much softened up, because hitting Ophelia is actually the ideal spot. For Growing Flame. And then Sharena would be able to trigger Heavy Blade off of Thracier. Valoria would be able to trigger Flashing Blade off of Leaf. And then Sharena could take out this Eliwood and trap in Azura. And if Valoria can't take out Garrick, she can trap him in and take 2 hits from him. Okay, so I think the way that this is going to go is Kagero probably starts off over here. The Repo Altina moves above her, brings her up this way. Kagero only needs, so it doesn't matter if this is the real trap. Smite Altina will be on standby at this tile, I believe. So, oh, okay, so now I see a problem, because if this is the real trap, then that actually might affect my Smite Altina. So I probably would have to test this out first, but otherwise it shouldn't be too big of a deal. So I probably have to test out these 3 tiles, get them out of the way first. And it shouldn't be necessary to make my move on turn 3, because Kagero's Growing Flame and Savage Blow would affect Garrick. So Valoria should be able to take him out. If not, she can take 2 hits from him. And then, so after testing this trap, Kagero moves up to this spot below Leaf, snipes Ophelia. I have my Smite Altina on standby over here. She moves over to this tile to the right of Kagero, smites her over to this tile, and then I could have Sharena target Thracier, trigger Heavy Blade, and Valoria trigger Flashing Blade off of Leaf. And then from there, Sharena would move in to take out Eliwood and trap Azura in. And Valoria would move up to take out Garrick and trap Garrick in. And yeah, I think that's my play. Yeah, okay. It's not good to pigeonhole yourself into thinking there's only one way to go about this. Because I thought that there was this Bronze Throne here, I wasn't really processing that as an available spot to come in from. But it's not actually necessary, because all I need to do is really break the Sound of Bonding and park Altina here, because she can move over to this tile. So I think that's what I'm actually going to do. Okay. Alright, so yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that then. So this plan still works favorably for me if it's a 20 trap for my Gale Force setup. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go into the battle.
With utter certainty.
Okay, so first things first, I want to break this Sound of Bonding and this obstacle over here, and then be able to test all 3 of these traps while keeping my Gale Forcers healthy. So I'm probably going to keep my Gale Forcers away, and basically have these 3 do the brunt of the work. So I could have this Altina test this trap first. I probably want to have my Smite Altina break the obstacle or the Sound of Bonding first. And then after this trap has been tested, I could have Valoria move over here, swap with Sharena, so that Sharena can get in range to draw back my Repo Altina. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I'm going to move this Altina up and break this obstacle. And move this Kagero up to break this Sound of Bonding. And then move this Altina up to test this trap, which is the fake trap. I'm going to go ahead and swap with Valoria and have Sharena draw this Altina back. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end turn here. Okay, and from here, Sharayna's still outside of the range of this trap, though I do also want to test this, but I don't think I need to rush this. So I'm going to go ahead and put Kagura over here then.
Let's go.
And then step on the tile. There's a 20 trap, so that actually still works out for me. That's perfect. Because if it was a 10 trap, then I'd be kind of screwed. It ends up being a gamble for me in the end, but I just wanted to really demonstrate my thought process and execution of this team with commentary. So from here, I could repo.
Consider it done.
And who would I want to get onto this tile? Because assuming that's a 60 trap, Kagura is not yet in escape route range, so it might actually be more beneficial for me to get Sharayna smited on there or repoed on there. So I'm going to go ahead and move Sharayna up then.
My turn.
And Valoria wants to stay transformed and away from everybody else, so that's fine if she just remains here. I guess I'll just break this anniversary treat. And from this point on, how would I test this gravity trap? I could smite her up, that would be the safest option, right? If I repo, then Sharayna could still move down and draw back, which is fine. Which I think would actually be more desirable, because I do want my Smite Altina to be over on this tile. So I think I'll go ahead and do that then. If I repo with the repo Altina, Sharayna can move back 2 spaces and draw back the repo Altina out of range. Okay, so go ahead and do that then. But I do want Sharayna to be able to move next to Altina so she can receive Hone attack buffs at a later point. So if I did that, Sharayna would end up being on this tile over here. And how would I get her next to the Smite Altina? I think if I just kept this Smite Altina over here, well, no, because if Sharayna's over here, I could use the repo Altina to bring her over to this tile, and then she can move 2 spaces up below where Smite Altina is. Then from that position, Kagura will take her opportunity to move on to Sharayna's current tile, maybe? Yeah. And I'd probably have to take an extra turn just to get this Altina to move back up so that she can repo Kagura. But, well, no, hold on. If Kagura's over here, and she gets repoed onto this tile, she can move up 2 spaces to snipe Ophelia. So that actually doesn't matter. Okay. So what I could do is actually the following turn, move Kagura to this tile, have the repo Altina repo the Sharayna over here, and then Sharayna can move up 1 space. Altina will have already moved up to this space, so that the turn after that, the repo Altina can move over to Sharayna's tile, repo Kagura up, Kagura can move over 2 spaces. After she takes out Ophelia, Smite Altina can move over here, push Kagura over to the left. Kagura will be a Wings of Mercy beacon at that point. And then Valoria's target is Leaf, Sharayna's target is Thrasir, and from there, I think it's pretty much cleared. So yeah, that's what we're going to do then. I guess I'll go ahead and just break this Bronze Throne. Doesn't hurt to sort of open up the path to the Aether earlier on. Okay, and from this point, Kagura is going to move over here. Repo Altina will go ahead and repo Sharayna over to the right. Sharayna is going to go ahead and move below Smite Altina for Hone attack buffs. And we'll take another turn and make our move on turn 4. Okay, and now Repo Altina will move Kagura up. Kagura is going to go ahead and move up to take out Ophelia. No problem, Growing Flame gets everybody, so that's the best case scenario. Everybody gets Dagger debuffed and double Savage Blowed. And Pyro is a Wings of Mercy beacon now. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and smite her over.
Utter certainty.
And from there, Gloria is going to go ahead and take out this leaf and trigger Flashing Blade. Just calculated. Shireen is going to go ahead and trigger Heavy Blade off of Thraseer. And now, all that's left is to take out this Eliwood, trap Azura in, and take out the Garrett. Perfect. Alright, and so that's basically my Astra Season Gale Force setup. Sorry that took a little longer to sort of figure out. This team just had a lot of debuffs that were working against me in terms of stat checking for Heavy and Flashing Blade, and also Altina having extra HP does not help my cause whatsoever in terms of her serving as a secondary Wings of Mercy beacon, so I'm glad I figured that one out. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and break this Flyer School so Pyro can go ahead and escape route over to destroy this second Aether, and Sharina can finish up the map. Alright, and we're done. So I know I mentioned that I was going to try out a different method of recording, which I actually did. I at first tried using a separate phone to record the in-game visuals and audio, and then use my own phone as usual to record my commentary. But what I noticed was that the other phone was actually picking up my commentary, bits and pieces of it, and so you could hear like murmurs in the in-game recording, which I honestly didn't like. So I just decided to come back to this emulator, unfortunately, and we're just going to have to keep speeding the active parts of the video up, at least until I've found another way to like accurately record high-quality, videos. So yeah. If you have any suggestions for recording, do leave me a comment in this section below, in the comment section below, and yeah, we'll see each other again tomorrow. My plan is to rematch that Japanese player who used 3 dancers, so look forward to that, I guess. And we'll end it here. We'll see each other again tomorrow. Take care.